Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete. I want to speak to my people, entrepreneurs and corporate professionals who are stuck. What do I mean by stuck? Your business is not growing. You're not generating leads. You're not generating cash flow. You don't have a good community to support you. That's who I'm talking to. If you're a corporate professional and you're looking for options because you're not sure that all these recent cuts and setbacks and downsizing might leave you on the outside. So if that's you or you think you want to prepare yourself, then you're at the right place at the right time. I've been podcasting for several years, 400 podcasts, and I've learned a tremendous lot. I learned a tremendous amount of what not to do. You learn by doing. That's why we always do first and then perfect. Book a podcast with us. If you are out there and you're not sure whether podcasting is for you, you're not sure what a digital asset is, you want to have a story of your life, maybe a shorter version of it. We have many stories, and you want to test it out, doesn't cost you anything. It's kind of like going to Costco. You try something out before you buy it. We want you to try it out. If the worst it can be is you have yourself a podcast, you have a story, you have something for people to get to know you, because they have to get to know you to like you and trust you. And that happens on a digital front because we're in a digital revolution. So everything is digital. That when you're going global, you have to think digital. We talk about podcasting, publishing, and building thriving communities locally and globally. When we say globally, we're meaning digitally, because I'm not going to have somebody from halfway across the world coming to our live event in Kennesaw, but they can consume a podcast that we create. They can participate in a matter of a digital, because the world has gotten smaller and we're seeing a lot of chaos, a lot of things going on. And you want to make sure you're on the cutting edge of what is happening. It's that self-awareness that you have to dial into yourself to really feel that you are at the right place at the right time. And if you have that self-awareness, like, I'm not sure what's going on. I hear AI, I hear crypto, I hear entrepreneur revolution, I hear the digital revolution, I hear the mobile revolution, I even hear the personal development revolution. What does that all mean to me? How can I keep it simple? How can I be focused? And how can I grow? Both professionally, yourself, and your business. Let me just go to share with you a little bit about why it's so important. It's this magic formula called 7-11-4. The gentleman's book is Daniel Priestley, and that's key person of influence. That's what we do with our community. We want you to be the person, because people don't buy from businesses or companies. They buy from people. So you, as a entrepreneur, as a business owner, you got to put yourself out there. You can say to yourself, I just want to be behind the scenes. You're losing opportunity. And it may be that you just have to have that self-awareness. Is it good for my company? Will it benefit my company if I'm out there letting people get to know me, like me, and trust me? Because if they do, they're going to trust what you represent, but they have to get to know you first. 7 means hours. That's Roger Dunbar. You can Google him and you can see people to get to know, like, and trust you have to consume 7 hours of you. Just a magic formula. The 11 is they have to make 11 buying signals. Now, What is a buying signal? Let's say somebody asked me, well, Pete, what do you do? We podcast, publish, and build thriving communities, help people generating leads, cash flow, and build a community. So if somebody says nothing, they're not interested. You don't need to talk for four more minutes, give them an encyclopedia definition, because they don't care. There's no awareness to what you said. Maybe your message wasn't right. Maybe they weren't the right people. But don't bore them with all your information, giving them 5 minutes of all this stuff, and they can't wait to get out of there. But if they say, tell me more, then you can give them more, because that's a buying signal. That's what 11 is. They're saying, tell me more, buying signal. You might give them a book. Now, if they read the book in 2 hours, that's 2 out of the 7 hours. And they have a chance to get to know, like, and trust you by, one, listen to a podcast, reading a book, going to a workshop, setting up assessment, whatever it is. Being on a waiting list, that's a buying signal. So we teach our community that you don't need to throw up on people. Just give them a little bit. Same as a book. You don't have to write a novel. Write a book of interest that gets them to go further. Just give them enough to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And that doesn't mean writing War and Peace. That means a book that they can consume in, say, a couple hours, because they're on a journey and they're going to see whether they know whether what they want to do is get to know you, trust you, and do business with you. The 4 has 4 different platforms: a book, a podcast, a YouTube video, an Instagram post, an assessment. Those are different platforms, different types that they're seeing you. When that happens, the click goes on. And when the click goes on, they know, like, and trust you online. They're more likely to do business with you. That's what we teach. So you want to connect with us? Go to petekane.me/connect, because we build relationships. We're interested in you being successful. So if you've been in corporate America, you're a corporate professional, understanding how you connect as an entrepreneur or as a future business owner is different than when you were working in a corporate environment. It's a totally different thing. I've had people that buy a franchise and they don't know how do they connect locally, because they have a mindset and a skill set that's different. Operating locally and networking in this age takes a skill. So when somebody says, what do? You don't sit there for 5 minutes like we talked about, throwing up on them. Give them an elevator speech that builds curiosity. And there's a whole series on that. So let's go. Let's see here. Who does Google say you are? This gets back to your digital profile. If you're intentional about building your profile, when somebody meets you and you build curiosity and you have a good conversation with them, what are they going to do? They're going to search you. And if they search you and they don't see anything, then lost opportunity. They're going to think, you know what, it was just a good conversation. But if they search you and they see all kinds of content, a podcast, a book, a YouTube channel, a LinkedIn profile, an Instagram post, your website, they see all this content and you dominate your profile, your name. And that's what you have to think about, dominating, not just getting one line on the top of your Google search, because the search is changing. They're finding TikTok. They're finding you on Instagram. They're finding you on Facebook. They're finding you on YouTube. They're finding you on Amazon. They're finding you on all these different platforms. No longer does Google dominate. They might search you there, but they're going to see all these other different platforms. And you want them because when we build, we do podcasting to create content, digital asset. We publish. We publish you in a magazine or a book on authority, like Key Person of Influence, like our collaborative magazine that has up to 20 stories of people that you surround yourself with. Because when somebody's going to do business with you, they don't want just you. Where's your team? Where's that vented team that you trust, that you can bring to the table to make your value increase? Because you always have to be thinking of what kind of value am I bringing? What kind of solution am I solving? So if you're a real estate agent, you have a team of people, your mortgage banker, your just all the different people that surround yourself that you have to do business with, that over time you find. So you're bringing your team to the table. When you sit down at a listing presentation, you bring your magazine, you put it on there, and the magazine has you on the cover, and inside is 20 stories of people that are part of your team. You give it to them. So now they have a resource for all the people that you vented, that you have put together. And we help you do that in a 12-week transformation. So when we look at this, we do a KPI club, which is once a month. I'm going to give you 3 to 5 strategies, things you can implement now. And you can go to see all the bonuses. You can go to petekane.me/KPI club. So you can see all the value, because we're all about podcasting, publishing, and building thriving communities locally and globally. Locally, we want to connect you. We do a live event once a month where we connect all our community together, because we're teaching our community to speak from a platform. 5 minutes, 3 points. 5 minutes, 3 points. So they're very precise with how they pitch, how they communicate, how they learn to talk on a platform. Because plenty of people are looking for good speakers, but you don't wake up one day and you're a good speaker. It takes intentional practice. When I first spoke, I was scared to death because I was just focusing on myself. How did I look? Was I going to say the right words? Were they going to judge me for what I said? Then when somebody told me one thing, it shifted my mindset. Think about who's receiving the information. Serve your audience. Serve the person you're speaking to. So if you have 2, 3 different avatars, as we call them, customer profiles, speak to one of them and speak directly like you're speaking to a person one-on-one. When you shift the focus off of you and you shift on who's receiving it, the jitters go away. And now you're perfecting your talk. You're getting better and better and better. That's what we do each month. So you can go to pk.me/live. You can see some examples of us speaking, our community speaking from the platform. Then every single week on a Friday, we have 10 speakers, 15 talks. That's our way of getting digital assets for our community out. So you're talking 5 minutes, 3 points. Always 3 points. Always 5 minutes. That way, somebody can talk for an hour. It's harder to talk for 5 minutes. It flies by very fast. So we have timers and we train our speakers 5 minutes, 3 points. So you can go to our virtual event. Once you get on our podcast, I'm going to invite you to the virtual event. That's provided you're a nice person. We want to protect our community. We want nice people, people that are in there to help each other, people in there are on a journey together, and together we're better. So let me see if I can hold on here. Let me go back to Google and then I'm going to move this here. Okay, there's our virtual event. So our virtual event, if you go to, we're going to be doing that. That's on Friday. Go to pkane.me/virtual. We talk sometimes about the 5 mega trends, but you got to be aware of them. You got to be aware of what's happening out here. If you're not aware that there's a digital revolution, then you're not going to be thinking about assets. Assets are what you want to create. A building's an asset. A book's an asset. Things that you can leave and they still do something, that's an asset. Entrepreneur revolution, man, it's exploding. Is it more entrepreneurs or less than it was a couple of years ago? There's more, but it's harder. It's harder because if you don't know how to create leads, and you can't turn leads into cash flow, and you can't build a thriving community, you're going to be falling into the percentages of businesses that fail each year, because you can't just, hey, I want to get in business because I don't like working for the big guy. That's not a good why. That's a disaster right there, because it's got to be something different. Just because you don't want to take instructions, you're going to take them all right, but it's going to be from you. And to guarantee you'd rather work for somebody else than yourself, because you're nuts. And you don't know what you don't know when you get into your own business. You don't need to start I've seen it. I was in the digital marketing business. Create that website first. Spend all this money, thousands, and you don't even have a client yet, but you're spending money because you think, oh, I got to spend money. What if they don't like what you do? Go out there and get leads. Go get clients. We say get 3 clients. Prove your concept works. Get your cash flow going, and then start building your community. Leads, cash flow, community. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to there. I'm going to try and go to one which helps you to. That's going. Okay. Hold on here. I'm going to go to. Yeah, I'm almost there. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, book a podcast. Go to pkane.me/nothing and pkane.me. Take an assessment and be on a podcast. Then once you do that, we have a workshop that we do each week where we teach you our 10 steps. Our 10 steps, which is our master class, or what we call an ecosystem. That's where everybody can use that to fuel their business. And you got to have an ecosystem to be successful. So you can sign up, go to connect right there, go to connect, pkane.me/connect, and you can sign up for our workshop. That way you can learn if you're interested. This is a buying signal moment. That's what I'm trying to do, is communicate value and initiate buying signals. If I'm not going to call you and you've not been through our content, 7 hours, remember, and a workshop can be part of that. What we're doing is helping you to answer your questions, helping you to get to know us, like us, and trust us, because we're all about leads, cash flow, and building a thriving community locally and globally. So part of that, number 1, is an assessment. That's why I ask you, before you get on, take an assessment. I got to know a little bit about you. How am I going to have a good podcast with you if I don't know your background or know enough about it? So that's why we do a workshop. Now, let me go back here. And I think, again, we build podcasts, publish, and build communities. Okay, let me see if I can go. I'm doing this a little bit too. Let me just talk about the busy bus because it's so important to get off the busy bus. That's distractions and get on the purpose plane. Not so you have to have this ultimate purpose, but showing up on purpose, knowing why you're doing things, having a plan. Purpose is a plan, and your plan can be cultivated through our community by coaching because we coach our people. Let me see if I can bring that up. That way I can show you. Yes, there we go. So we do one-on-one coaching. That's a high performance coaching. And we provide you with a strategy session because we got to know if you want it. Okay. Let me see if I can bring this up, the strategy session. Yeah, I think I can. Intern. Um, no, no. Okay. Well, let me see. Hold on here. I'm getting these. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let me see. That's on the wrong one there. Okay, one more. And then I was looking for the magazine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There it is. There it is. Book a strategy session. This is 1 hour focused on you. If you don't know where you're going, a strategy session would be beneficial to you. We offer this as a service to our community. Now, that's the one-on-one. We also do it with Key Strategic Partner Magazine. And what does that mean? We have a collaborative magazine that allows you to build your team around it. We put the stories of your team in the magazine. It's a 12-week transformation. That is a different level, but it allows you to walk away with an authoritative book or workbook, be part of a magazine that you surround your team with. These are people that you've relied on for years to deliver similar services that complement your main service. So if you're a realtor, you have a team around you from a mortgage banker, surveyor, excuse me, carpet cleaner, just different people. Maybe it's a interior design person, stager, just different people that you've worked with, that you can surround yourself, that you guys work as a team. And when you work as a team, together, you're better. And then the KPI Club, which we talked about briefly, that is just put KPI Club. That's a monthly strategy to promote you. People buy from people. That means you. They don't buy from your company, they buy from people. They got to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And when they do that, their chance of them doing business with you, and they've made 11 buying signals, they're ready to join you. But you have to have an intentional strategy of putting that content out there, giving people an opportunity to get to know you. So that's why it's so important. So book a strategy session. Go to pkane.me backslash SS, and you can be part of a strategy session. Know where you're going, have a strategy. Now, we always are sponsored by Growth Day because Growth Day is working on yourself, your leadership, your team. Brendan Bouchard, who's the founder of Growth Day, which has close to 500,000 people, 60 plus countries, he speaks to you every single day. It's what we call the 5 to Thrive. Takes about 15, maybe 16, 17 minutes to complete, but it's like the fuel that rockets your day because every day you have a chance to make it happen. But the mindset is so important. And having a person that's done this for 20 plus years will be speaking to you. It's like you have the best mentor by your side to start off the day every day. What would you be able to accomplish if you had that kind of person speaking into you? We all talk about mentors. We all talk about, let me get some water here. Yep, it's after lunch here in Atlanta. Thank you. And having that rocket fuel for your day, you keep doing day after day after day, putting that rocket fuel in your rocket, your business, yourself. The sky's the limit, because we talk about the magic is in you and anything is possible, but you have to put the fuel in the rocket. So if you do that, it's an affiliate program. And so that's why they support us. I mean, they don't support, I don't know. I don't know if they support it, but I do. Okay, I'm going to give you a course on mindset, goals, and habits, because I want your mindset right. I want you to have goals and have good habits. I call them atomic habits, because the habits create outcome. Boy, that's better. That's better. Got to get it flowing. Okay. And so to see the key strategic partner program, go to pk.me/magazine. That way you can see it. Once a person takes leadership of a magazine and wants to build around it, we'll help you build around the magazine, build around yourself. You bring in a team to a person. Together, you're better. And with the magazine, that is it's a collaborative magazine. You can order it from Amazon. Comes in there with the podcast stories in there, along with good content to help you grow your business. So go to pk.me/magazine. So if this is of interest to you, please share this. I found myself 3 years ago starting over. Physically, I had a stroke, half the body gone. I was an avid golfer, played up to 5 days a week. Don't do it anymore. Don't run in not marathons, 10Ks like I did. I've run in 25 plus Peachtrees, 20, maybe it's 22 or something like that. But I don't do that anymore. So you have to always be ready to pivot. When you pivot, you start over in a lot of cases. I started over, brand new. Physically, business, shut down my digital business and started this business. So growing a business is a decision. Starting over is a decision. And if you want to do that, we're the right community for you. We can help you. If you're stuck in your business and you're not generating enough leads and your cash flow is not where it needs to be, and you don't have a good community of people supporting you, we could be the people, the community for you. So let me go back to the podcasting, because it starts with a podcast. Okay, be a guest on my podcast. And let's see, if you just go to pkane.me and you can be a guest, fill out a short assessment, a couple minutes. That way I get to know you a little bit better and the podcast can be better. See if you like this, because you may not. This may not be for you, but this is for people that want to lead and build their own personal brand, because people buy from people, and we got to put you out there. We have a podcast academy we're rolling out that helps you to shorten that learning curve. And let me see if I can get you to go to that. I know I can. Hold on here. Yes. Go to our landing page, pkane.me/PA. My friend Mark Little and I we've already started it, but he has years of experience in podcasts, and so do I. We want to shorten your learning curve. We want to help you move faster, because today, oh my gosh, things are moving fast. They're moving so fast that you want to be a part of that. So the Podcasting Academy is all about podcasting, publishing, and building thriving communities locally and globally. Because we got to get your leads. We got to build that team of people, and you do it through podcasting. Publishing in the magazine allows you to build around you yourself and bring your team to a presentation, to a person that sees it's not just you, it's your team that they're hiring. And building thriving communities is what we teach you. So go to pkane.me/PA. We got plenty of bonuses for you. We want to help you build a thriving business that generates leads, cash flows, and generates thriving business. So the magic is in you, and anything is possible.